What's happening, Brighton? The short answer is a lot. The long answer is this podcast. What's Up, Brighton is a show dedicated to the community we all love.
Hosted by Roger Burnett, Eric Meldrum, and Coach Mark Howell, this podcast will feature news, issues, and discussions impacting Livingston County and celebrate the people who make our slice of Michigan go and grow. This is What's Up, Brighton.
All right, well, welcome back. What's up, Brighton? Today we got a good friend of us here today, and I want to let him do the introduction, but we thought it'd be cool to have him on and talk about some of the cool things that he's up to, community leader, community friend, and somebody you guys might know here in the community. So welcome.
My name is Gavin Johnson. Used to be the principal at Brighton High School. That's probably how most of you know me, but now I'm the chamber president, the Greater Brighton Area Chamber of Commerce president. Been there for about 5 months. Still wading through all the learning opportunities.
The firestorm.
Trying to figure it all out, man. But I'm really enjoying it. I love this town, love this community, and that's why I'm there.
Yeah, so getting in and getting muscled around in the chamber. So you finding your way, and it's about 6 months into the new role, correct?
Yeah, a little less than that. Feels like 6 years, but I'm just learning so much. And replacing Pam, who's been here for 25 years, you know, she's
Wow.
Yeah,
She was there for the 25 years. That's
almost
crazy.
25. So replacing, you know, a legend's tough. I replaced Ken Hammond at the high school, so that was tough as well. But I'm just learning as much as I can, trying to make it my own, be who I am, be authentic, lead in the way I do with my heart. Trying to take care of our community first. That's what I believe Chamber should do.
Awesome.
We're a nonprofit. We're a business. I have to make money to run that business. But I stayed in the town because I love this town. I love this area. I live here. Love everybody that I met in the schools. I know the kids. I know the parents. It just felt like the right fit for me to try.
Yeah, well, that's super cool. We're excited to unpack kind of what that entails, learn more about the chamber, some of the new things that you might be rolling out. But going back to your years in the principal, like how long you've been in Brighton?
So I was principal for almost 14 years.
Okay.
Loved every second of it. I miss a ton of that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I miss kids a lot. I miss the events a lot. I miss the energy in the high school a lot. I miss just that youthful exuberance stuff, you know, the energy. But 14 years is a long time. Like, even if I felt I was still being effective, I'm smart enough to know that 7-year itch, that 10-year itch, even the best football teams need a new coach. You know, I think that school is ready for a new leader. I was able to work with and hire all the principals that are there right now. Matt Evans took over for me. He's a better man than I'll ever be. Nate Grabowski, Tracy Richards, those are icons in this community. They were ready. So it was okay for me to go. And it was time. You know, I miss it every day. I may end up back in education because I miss those kids so much. But right now, when I had the opportunity, I was looking for a job and I could have went back to schools in other parts, other region. And then this opportunity came up to like stay in your own community, work with the people you love and the place you love. And it just made sense. But Brighton High School was the best part of my career by far. We did some great things there. And Matt and his team are doing a great job now. They don't miss me one bit.
Well, it sounds like you got rid of high schoolers and you just got some more bigger kids.
Yeah, I did.
in the Chamber of Commerce.
I had 2,000 kids. Now I got about 800 businesses, and some of the things are the same.
And we're just all, you know, kids at heart.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Some of the problems are probably the same. You know,
they are, and some people like me, and some people don't.
Yeah,
and that's okay.
It's a popularity contest.
If everyone's
sometimes,
happy with it, you're not leading. You know. So.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
like
cool.
That. I like that.
So, tell us about the new role. Like, you come in as chamber president. You'd never really done that before. You probably had no idea what it entailed. So, like, what did you think the role was compared to what you learned in the first couple of months in your role?
Well, what I thought the role was is 50%. I was 50% correct. I really thought it was about working with your community, working with businesses, with people you know, running events, building a base of a community, working with all of these great partners. I mean, my board of directors are the icons of Brighton. All the businesses I'm working with are the icons of Brighton. And the greater Brighton area, we work with South Lyon, we work with Whitmore Lake, Pinckney, Putnam, Hamburg, and Hell. So we have that geographical area as well. So that's been learning for me. Yeah. I thought it was a lot of communication, a lot of connection, and it is. What I didn't know is I'm literally running a business. You know, I'm paying the bills, I'm raising the funds. That stuff's been a learning curve for me.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to be a traditional chamber president. I'm not trained in that. I'm too old to learn new ways. I'm a person who loves my community, who they hire to be a chamber president. Mm-hmm. There are better chamber presidents out there than me, but I hope there's nobody out there who's working harder for their community than me with their heart.
Yeah. Yeah. You
That's
said
awesome.
you said something before the podcast, and I think we're going to name the podcast after it, which is, do good and do good shit.
Do good shit. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I believe in that. The older you get as a man, especially, it takes you a while to gain wisdom and experience and to become a better person and want to give back. I wasn't a good guy as a young man. I had to learn lessons and make mistakes. And every year I hope to get better. I hope to be a better dad. And this role allows me to do good. It does. I believe in that. I'm trying to do good. I'm making mistakes every day as a chamber president, but my heart's going to be in front trying to do good for our membership and our community.
Yeah. Well, that's super cool. So the companies that are kind of on the forefront, with this, have any, like the change of guard, has that like caused anybody to stop supporting the chamber? Was any shakeout like that happening?
Not really. It's just I came in, as most confident leaders do, and made some changes, and I had to back off a little bit on some of those. There's a lot of tradition in the chamber, a lot of important traditions that Pam brought on and Joyce Rogers before her. As a younger guy coming out of school systems, used to contracts and specific details of everything you do every day, the chamber world's a different world, pretty gray. My first day, I came here and had a bourbon with Rob on a podcast. I'm like, I went from like busting kids for this to having one, So very different dynamic for me, but I'm enjoying it. It's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And Mark, you were talking before the show about your experience with some of the different chambers, with nonprofits and everything. What are you most excited about? With Gavin coming in.
Yeah, I'm just excited for kind of some changes and just kind of shaking things up a little bit. And I think like anytime something has been led a certain way with the same consistent leadership and policies and people surrounding things, I think that inevitably things can become a little bit stagnant, and sometimes it's time to just change and shake things up a little bit for the benefit of new businesses, new people wanting to get involved. Brighton, I think, as a community is somebody who's we're rooted in tradition. We're rooted in a lot of the same types of families and people have been here a really long time, generation to generation, which helps make this place very special. But I think for any organization to continue to not just survive, but thrive, change is necessary. Growth is necessary. And sometimes just by changing a perspective, from the leadership view, I think that sometimes that can be a very healthy thing. And I know from my perspective, Gavin, like you've always been very well respected and held in very high regard. I've always loved all our interactions together, both, direct and indirect, from afar. So it's, when I saw the change in the guard and you were going to get involved in that, I thought like, wow, this is really exciting, and I think just to have, just a little bit of a change up and, I'm excited to hear about maybe some of the new changes that you're looking to implement or are implementing or maybe even have, and I'm unaware. So, I'm looking forward to get some, maybe some new blood involved in the chamber and maybe even to be more involved myself as, as somebody who's super engaged in the community and wanting to see it grow as well.
I'd love that. I mean, we have worked well together before, and we both love kids. We love this community. That. So we're a lot alike that way. We've been changing our events for 2025. I'm trying to improve them, make them better, make them more community friendly. For example, a lot of our members wanted me to bring the golf outing back to Oak Point. So I've got that on the calendar this year. So,
sweet.
So June 9th.
Where did it move to?
Well, we had Lion Area golf outing, and that still existed. So one thing people don't recognize about our chamber is that we have a huge geographical area. People think it's the Brighton Chamber of Commerce. It's not. It's the greater Brighton area. We're lucky enough to have partners. So we've got Whitmore Lake, the Lion Area, and the Pinckney, Putnam, Hamburg, Hell are three of our divisions. That's a whole new dynamic. Mm-hmm. Most chambers, there's hardly any chambers that have that. So that's a huge advantage. We have a huge geographical area of membership that can grow. So that's a huge advantage we have. So we represent them. So they have their own events, and then we have our events in Brighton. So between all of us, we have like over a dozen events that are great events.
That's awesome.
If people hear about the Pinckney Art in the Park, that's part of the Greater Brighton Area Chamber of Commerce. Under our Pinckney.
Yeah, see, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
That's cool stuff.
Yep.
So we are a huge geographical area that only has room for growth. In terms of the Brighton downtown events, I told you we're bringing the golf outing back on June 9th. That's going to be super cool. A couple big changes that I'm super excited about is we're going to bring the Country Music Festival to downtown.
Awesome.
It used to be called Yellowstone. It was
Yep.
at Mount Brighton. We're changing the name up. We're calling it Brighton's Boots and Beats.
Sweet.
Going to bring it downtown.
Interesting.
What I really believe in is, of course, we use the downtown area, so I owe those merchants and businesses a big applause. I mean, they work with us great down there. But I'm going to put the music at the amp, and it's going to be free to the community. So instead of charging you $7 to come in someplace and cross a fence and listen to music there, you're going to be on Main Street. You're going to be in the place you want to be with your friends, having a social district up and down the street, but the music's going to be at the amp.
You know, that's interesting because on the music in the amp, I never realized there was an admission fee. Was that at like the Smokin' Jazz Fest, or what, like did they try that last couple of years? Because I don't think I've ever made it over there. I just heard the music and I just thought like, hey, I can hear it from the street.
Well, you know, most chambers run music festivals and they have it behind a fence.
Okay.
And that's how we make our money. We charge you to come in and then we run a beer tent.
Gotcha.
Well, guess what? I'm not an expert at selling beer, but I'm trying to be one as a chamber president. With social districting, those days are gone.
Yeah.
You know, there are experts on Main Street that sell alcohol and sell good food. I shouldn't be that guy faking it. So we're not going to have a place behind Main Street anymore where you have to pay to get in and buy a beer from me. We're going to have the music on Main Street, free to everybody. Families can come listen to it all day. You don't have to pay to hear it. And then we need to make a few dollars to make our ends meet. And there's different ways of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So my goal is to make a better community-driven event where everybody can hear the music. We're all together on Main Street. We crowd Main Street. We just make Brighton a great area when we do that together.
Yeah.
Well, and then too, you're driving instead of the beer or anything else sales, in a tent, you're driving it back to, the businesses that are already there, the restaurants, the
my
breweries,
partners. That's my job, to make you guys money if you're a business owner.
Awesome.
So if I can make
really
every
cool.
business owner one connection, one sale, one networking, you'll earn your chambership membership back. That's the deal. I need to make you one connection, maybe one sponsor for your nonprofit, and you're like, man, that chamber's awesome.
Yep.
And then you'll tell someone else we're awesome. That's my goal. And then, of course, I love the stuff. And so I mentioned the Country Boots and Beats Festival. We're also going to change.
What
up.
date is that, by
That's
the way?
June 21st.
June 21st.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yep. So after school's out, bringing the country music downtown. I'm working on a music arrangement right now, but just making it a cool event, working with the downtown merchants and restaurant owners more, bringing in less food trucks, hopefully engaging them more so
Yep.
they get the business, not an outside food truck from, Madison Heights. So that's another one of my goals, to engage my local merchants better. Then we're going to do something different with the Smokin' Blues. So we're not going
Okay.
to change that because that's, I think, everyone's favorite event of Brighton in my mind. 2 days of blues and jazz, though, seem to be a little repetitive. So we're going to put the music there on the amp as well,
Okay.
free to everybody. And then we're going to do rock and roll one night.
Oh, let's
cool.
go.
So,
Yeah, I like
change it up.
that.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I'm also looking for some local bands to play early that are affordable. So I got cool music all day. We might know these people, bring in
That's
their
awesome.
local. Yeah, so I
Yep.
just want to make it more local, more connected, affordable for people. You don't have to pay to go see the music. And then I can make my money in different ways, working with merchants downtown.
That's awesome.
Yeah. The guys at the Pound and the Label have a ton of connections in that industry. I'm
going to see
assuming
Nick,
you're.
I'm going to see Nick at 5 tonight.
There you go.
I'm,
So
I'm working on all
assuming
that.
you.
Yeah.
I just learned this for the first time last summer. Was my cousin, my oldest cousin. He actually plays in a band that's been playing at the Pound for the past 4 years.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, he's like, I play there every Friday night. Like my wife and I never go down there, so I would have recognized if I saw him. But he goes, yeah, I'm there every night. He lives in Farmington Hills, so I never
That's
knew he was
awesome.
coming out here and playing. I'm like, I gotta make it down there one night.
That's
Check
my
it out.
goal. I mean, I need to, like I said, run a business, but I want to make our local stuff good for local people, bring in outside people, make it affordable for everybody, make it engage with the downtown merchants and restaurants, be partners of them, be good partners with all of my community. Just make it a better community event in any way I can.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I
awesome.
mean, to me, that
That's really
sounds
cool.
like everything that kind of makes sense. I don't want to say it's common sense because I know it takes a lot of logistics and planning to
Right.
pull that off, but it just feels natural is what I'm trying to say. All that stuff feels natural. It's you have an event on Main Street and that's really what the amp's there for. There's music on it. It's providing entertainment for kids, people walking around the mill pond, kind of get away from the Main Street a little bit, venture off, go to the Imagination Station, just kind of get your bearings straight and then head back to some of the festivities. That's exactly what my family does when we're down there. It was people overload, kids are a little bit rambunctious. Hey, let's go decompress, on the sides.
Yeah. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I'm never going to be that guy, but I have a good gut for things. I can see what people like. That's what I want to provide. So social districting is where people want to be. They want to be on the street, carrying a beer down the street, having some smoked good food from, the Smoking Fest, or hearing the music right there. Just people being together. So my goal is to improve all these festivals where everyone feels better about all the parts of it. And I'm open to criticism. If you guys got ideas or citizens have ideas, I'd love to hear them. What else do we need? We've talked about a cider, winery, brewery festival.
Awesome.
A local one with all of our local merchants. We have really good local breweries and wineries and cideries, and bringing them into an area as well. I'm open to any ideas, because chambers run events. That's what we do. We support our membership with learning opportunities, which I'm also changing, hopefully engaging members better, and I can talk about that in a minute. But I want to improve the events so there's something for everybody. And our Holiday Glow is already a rock star event. It's a great family event.
Yeah.
No alcohol on the street. It's for bringing the kids down. Santa and Mrs. Claus.
Very
the
cool.
merchants love it. That event's just going to stay the way it's been. I'm smart enough not to step on my own feet.
Yeah. Well,
So for real quick before we move on off of that, just like with anyone who might be listening that's interested in like sponsorship or how to get involved or vendors or anything like that, like when will some of those links drop or availability to hop in and
So
get
that stuff
involved?
is already dropped.
Okay, sweet.
I've got a great small team at the chamber right now. If you go to our website, brightoncoc.org, and you look across the top of the website, you'll see something that says guides. Click on that. You'll see a guide for all of the events. Every event we're running, with all the dates and all the sponsorship, are already on there.
Awesome.
If you look under membership guides, you'll see all the stuff, the benefits for a member. If you look under the engagement guide, is what I'm working on for learning opportunities, you'll see all the ways you can engage, become a part of our learning community. So I believe in using my experts. You're a nonprofit expert. I would consider you that.
Well,
Maybe
thank you.
Maybe you don't.
I don't know if I would consider myself an expert in anything, but thank you.
Yeah, but so why should I go try and travel 20 miles to find someone to come teach other nonprofits how to do it better? Why wouldn't I ask you to do that? And so I'm asking my memberships to engage with me. I mean, having David Snodgrass or John Cooter or Rob Johnson talk about what they do to other members. I mean, if Rob taught people how to do podcasts, you guys wouldn't be sitting here anymore. You'd be running your own podcast place.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
using my membership to grow our connection, grow our networking, learn from each other makes total sense to me. And that's what I did as a principal. We had great teachers at that school. For me to go find someone from 200 miles away and pay him 10 grand didn't make sense to me.
Right.
Let's learn from each other. How do we take care of kids together? How do we take care of each other's business together? How do we network better? How do you make one connection through the chamber?
Yeah.
It seems simple to me to do it that way. And that's what the engagement guides are about.
Yeah, seems simple, but it takes a lot of corralling people, right? And that's
And they're
obvious.
busy people.
Busy people, but I think there's a lot of value in that. Are you or a loved one struggling with the effects of a stroke? The Oxford Center in Brighton, Michigan offers a cutting-edge alternative stroke treatment that can help stroke victims even years after having a stroke. Our approach combines traditional medicine with evidence-based alternative therapies, including hyperbaric oxygen therapy. This advanced treatment involves breathing pure oxygen in a specialized environment that can stimulate the growth of new blood vessels and promote healing in the brain. We also offer physical therapy and speech therapy programs to help patients regain their strength, coordination, and ability to communicate. Contact the Oxford Center today at 248-486-3636 or visit the website at oxfordcenter.com to learn more about the alternative stroke treatment options, including hyperbaric oxygen therapy. That's 248-486-3636 or visit oxfordcenter.com. Learning from people here locally is one thing. And I've attended, I actually started and stopped, some entrepreneur events and, got that going with some friends here locally. And a lot of connections are made of that. And that's the biggest thing, I think, is as an outcome of all those networking events. I've been to plenty of real estate, conferences and self-development conferences. And you walk in and there's this hoorah, it's cool. And someone up on stage giving you, the motivational speech. And sometimes people need that. Yeah. But sometimes what I find most valuable in a lot of those is actually being in the corridor, talking and networking with people, not listening to the speaker, meeting people that are kind of on the same wavelength as me. Hey, we're doing this in our business. Oh, cool. How did you like that? What's going on with that? What's your success been? What's your failure been? And really connecting that way. And these are some of the people that I still stay in touch with. Some of the people that I've met here locally, a lot of people like Mark, who I've met just through osmosis of being in the kind of the mix of things. And that's really kind of what I'm hearing from you is like, you want to grow your business, get involved, and let me show you a way that we can help you get engaged, get involved, meet cool people in the community, and do some really cool things. Because like you said, people here locally, they may not be the biggest expert out there that somebody's going to go pay high ticket dollar value to go see, but that's also somebody that knows a little bit more than you might know in that category and can help you. And then, oh, by the way, they're also someone here local that could actually refer you business or, help you grow in a different way that you don't even know about.
Absolutely. And I'm also working on ways or figuring out better ways to communicate. Like, our business owners want to give each other deals. If I have all 850 of you helping each other with a deal and you get those member benefits, you could save thousands and tens of thousands of dollars. I could give you 25 examples right now of things I've run across or learned from some of the mentors I've already made, some of the big business owners. For example, Clear University will give a member 30% off an MBA.
Oh, wow. I had no idea.
How many thousands of dollars is that? So I can give you 100 examples like that of businesses here that want to give discounts to other members. So I'm going to build on that as well. I'd like to create a member-to-member app where you could go on there and try to find a partner for your nonprofit. You could go on there and offer, hey, I'm going to offer, I know it's hard on real estate guys and girls to do that, but maybe
I'll sell your house for free.
Yeah.
There you go.
1% off. I don't know what it is. Or, I'll give you $500 to come look at your house to give you an evaluation, whatever it is. So I'm not the smartest business guy in the world. I never will be, but I'm good at connecting people. That's what I'm trying to do with our members. You guys have so much capital and so much to give to this community. Why don't we give it to each other and make each other stronger? That's what a chamber should be doing. Connecting you guys, making our community better.
Love it.
You want to join the chamber together?
Yeah, I'm in.
He just sold us. We'll sign up now.
I know.
Well,
where's the membership?
I've been telling people, wait till I prove it to you. We're exchange. I'd encourage you to go to our website. Look at our chamber guys. They're super cool. Karen Story, who my new employee, has built all those, and they're amazing opportunities of engagement and ways to get involved in your events. They're all there. Put them down on your calendar for the events that are important to your family. But if you're a member of the chamber, engage with what I'm offering you. If you're not a member, try it out for $300 a year. If you make one connection, one sale, one network, you're going to make that money back.
Right.
It's not an expensive commitment. It really isn't.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And if it doesn't work for you for a year, step into my office, tell me why it didn't work, and I'll work on that for you.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's pretty fair.
I love that.
Not too many chamber presidents are going to open the door. It's a full refund if it doesn't work, or that's not on the table.
But I'll find a way to make it work for you. If you step in my office 3 months in and it's not working, Gavin, I need this. We're going to try it. I am not afraid of trying anything new. I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I am aggressive and confident about trying something new and making something better and taking advice from outsiders.
Yeah.
Love it.
So we're going to end on some rapid fire questions, but I do have one question for you that I want to dig into, and we can go a little bit longer on this one, is what is the one thing that you came in that you were like, maybe you already touched on it, but what was the one thing that you're like, I think the chamber is just missing this one thing to make it better?
That's a great question. Though I guess I didn't know enough to really give you a great answer. I think that legitimate connection among all members is the thing I believe that it's missing. It wasn't Pam's fault or the past chamber staff fault. Trying to find a way to connect every member will keep that chamber membership strong.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I think it misses. A lot of people say, what are you doing for me? I got to find a way to make that person connect with one other person. Mm-hmm. And they're busy people. These are people scraping along, making their business go. And I'm trying to give me 2 hours a month to come do this. I don't have time for that. How can you help me today? So trying to find that magic pill is hard.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's a tough one and this touches upon so many different aspects of business. And I'll use an example because in real estate, we obviously have coaches and we get sold so many different things as real estate agents, coaching, marketing systems, and time again, I'll hear the same story as like, which coaching business works the best, or what marketing system are you using that works the best? And there's people that have been in this game for a long time, and they say the one that you actually use, right? And I think the chamber in your response to that was kind of the same as, like, what are you doing for me, right? And if it's not like some magic pill that is going to put a new piece of business right in front of you, people are like, oh, well, that didn't work. Right? That didn't work. I don't know how much easier you could make it. Like, if that was the case and you could just put business in front of people, like, I don't think you'd be running a chamber of commerce.
I wouldn't.
Right? There would be something
I'd be
else.
retired by now, right?
Like, we're making millions, right? And that's the funny part to me, because some people have to learn this on their own, right? And go through the trial and tribulations of failure, and then have a little bit of success. But it's consistency and getting engaged. You know, we have new agents that join a brokerage every single year, and they're like, well, that brokerage didn't work. I was like, well, what did you do? Like, did you connect with your mentor? Did you go to training? Did you plug in, right? Did you take advantage of the things that were in front of you? And if the answer is no, then how can you really say it was the brokerage's fault, or in this case, the chamber's fault that it didn't work?
Yeah. I'll turn the question around a little bit on you. I've always used this engineer. My stepfather was a highly successful engineer. And I learned this early from him. If I gave you 800 of the best engineers and I told you to stick them all in their own rooms and never let them talk, would they be successful in creating a product? I used to say that to my 100 teachers too. If you all go to your classroom and sit there and don't open the door and talk to each other, how can we be a good team? So I have 800 highly successful businesses in this area. If I get them talking and communicating and connecting, the sky's the limit. That's how I feel. I got to get them out there connecting with each other, selling to each other, networking with each other, building with each other's business, and that will be great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what exists today for that? And this is a naive question because I really don't know. What exists today, and what are you hoping to build upon?
So we have a lot of networking activities, but people think that it's a time to go out and have breakfast or have a beer with somebody. But I mean, the first month I met this dude, and he got a job, the first networking job time I went. 20 people come out, they have a beer together, have a pop together, they talk, they engage. Hey, you do plumbing? Guess what? I need some plumbing in my house. I'm going to give you 10% off. I mean, I've seen that happen 50 times. So that stuff all existed before. I'm trying to build on it and make it easier to access. The learning opportunities, I'm working on something I'm really excited about. And I'll tell you, one of my great partners is Clear University. Clear University is a business university in our county.
Right.
It's underutilized.
Yeah.
They're offering great discounts on their stuff for us to get educated, but they're also going to offer me teaching opportunities from professional professors on topics that they're building.
Wow.
Rob Johnson's one of them. So
That's
they've
really cool.
developed a piece of curriculum that they're going to let me offer them to you guys. One's on AI, and then use it in your business. I mean, I have great partners here that want to give me stuff to give to you.
Yeah.
And what can you give them back? And so then Cleary's out there and they're selling. And guess what? Man, there's great professors at Cleary. Wow, my kid wants to be going to get their MBA and I can get 30% off. That connection can save a family tens of thousands of dollars and build business in this area.
Yeah.
I know I'm picking a couple out, but I got 100 examples of all my membership like that. You could ask about any business that's a member and I could probably give you an example. Yeah. It's cool stuff out there.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
awesome.
that's exciting. I mean, that's a different take on, like, the engagement side of it, of people don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my naive question, to that was, I truly didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, you said you revamped some of the things on the website, some things that are just getting information out there. And that's one of the hardest things, I think, is just to inform people, that have maybe looked at the chamber before and was like, I trying to justify the cost, and they talked to other people. And that was my experience. When I moved here, started my business, I looked around and I said, okay, I have all these, real estate, programs I can go be a part of, these coaching programs here locally. What exists that I could plug into to network? Because that's a big one, right? Networking and just meeting people is a big one. I obviously took a different approach, to it, and started my own Facebook group and, developed What's Up Brighton and all those things. And that was unconventional. I wouldn't recommend anybody do that as a business strategy. But at the same token, I looked at it and I was like, well, I asked the right question. I asked some people that are in the chamber, and right, wrong, or indifferent, the answer wasn't positive, right? Back then when I had asked, it was kind of lackluster, right? And that's, some people's opinion of it is like, oh, no, I really don't see the value, and I wasn't really getting what I was hoping out of it. But I also have to ask a question like, how many events have you been to?
Yeah.
Right? How many things were you doing, getting plugged in, or were you one of the people that were just waiting for the chamber to drop business into your lap, or hand you something and saying, here's your ROI, look what we did for you?
Right.
And I'm not sure if families recognize if they brought their kids to see Santa and Mrs. Claus for 5 years in a row, if they know that's a chamber activity we're doing for them.
Right.
I'm not making any money off them. They're coming to see Santa. If someone loves, coming to Smoking Jazz and getting great smoked food, we put that on. It costs us tens of thousands of dollars to put that on.
Yep.
We're doing that for the community to build our businesses. So there's all these things we do behind the scenes. I'm not asking for credit for them. I'm just saying we're part of the community. We're part of what we do that's really cool in this town and in our geographical area. And we just want to get better at it. So I'm willing to listen, man. If there's anybody out there ever wants to send me an email, gavinj@brightoncoc.org. I get great advice from people all the time, and it's not critical. And even if it is critical, I take it as good advice. So I'm here to listen.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, you mentioned earlier you're trying to get more local food trucks on some of the events. So if you own a food truck or own a business, definitely reach out to Gavin. And just a quick question on that is I think I might already know the answer, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Why have we sourced so many food trucks outside of our local community instead of engaging with the restaurants?
Well, I'm changing that. I do believe in it. I think people like variety, number one. For the Smoking Jazz Blues Festival, all of our incredible food trucks that do come from across the state, I think people look forward to that. I do. We don't have 12 or 15 smoking food trucks in this town.
Yeah.
We don't. We just got a brand new one who's one of my students' fathers, so I know they're going to be at the next event.
Nice.
I mean, I'm going to put them in front of someone who's external.
Right.
I'm literally redoing the food truck pricing. Members were going to get a discounted price. First look. If you're a non-member, you're getting a second look. And if you're a non-member who doesn't live in our community, you're getting a third look. Smoking Jazz is a little different, I think. There's got a lot of tradition and history there with a lot of those trucks. That's a hard one to switch. But I can tell you right now, our Country Music Festival, Boots and Beats, is going to look a lot like Taste of Brighton. I want our restaurants out there serving food and serving alcohol.
Awesome.
I don't want to bring people from 50 miles away if I can help it. I mean, that's literally why I'm going to see Nick at the Pound tonight. I want to talk to Nick and say, Nick, how can I be a great partner for the restaurants and bars down here? How can I get you guys on the street? Because he's out there. I mean, and I know Nick well enough, he'll tell me the truth. So I'm trying to engage with everybody, be a good partner, be a good teammate in the community. And then Nick's going to go say, man, that guy Gavin, he took care of me for this, for that. And he's going to tell his partner and say, you got to be a member of the chamber. They're working with you now.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I always thought it was price, right? And that was whoever's the highest bidder.
No, they're all the same.
Come in and pay.
No, I'll tell you right now, we have not been charging enough for that stuff. Taste of Brighton charges a lot more, but they have a different clientele because they built that only for the downtown areas, and that's a great group of people. Believe in Brighton Group, man, they're doing great stuff for our community. So I'm trying to partner with them and be more like them, so I can be their partners. I mean, if I'm not their partner downtown, then I'm at fault.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
I love that.
Well, any last thoughts? Anything you wanted to share with folks?
Appreciate
out
it, man.
there in YouTube land?
Ask me anytime. I'd love to come back, talk about events. If you go to our website, brightoncoc.org, hit the member guides up top. You'll see all of our events, all the sponsorship, all the membership benefits. If you've got good things to tell me about what I can do better at the chamber, I'm all ears. I'm just here to build a better chamber for the community. When the community is doing great, we're going to do great.
Yeah, very cool. All right, a couple of rapid questions.
Rapid fire.
Wrap this up. Wrap the dome here. Where is your favorite spot to hang out in Brighton?
Well, I'm good friends with the people who own Four Circles Brewery, a new brewery down the street. They're really cool people. Nick makes some really good small brews. I like flavorful beers. I love Champs. They got a great selection of beers. So those are probably my top two. I'm not a. If I go for a good dinner, Brighton Bar, Bar and Grill or Bourbons. Chow's. I mean, there's not a bad place. I know that sounds like I'm schmoozing you, but there's not a bad place.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
There's a lot. I went to Grand River a month ago. They've got great beer selection at Grand River Brewery. So I go to all of them. I don't hang out a lot late at night down here, but I'm gonna have a beer at Four Circle.
Can't hang to 2 in the morning anymore.
I can, but the parents want to talk to me.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
let me get their kid in trouble 10 years ago.
Yeah, we're paying for it the next day. That's
So
that's crazy. All right, cool. Nice hangout spot. So. Anybody visiting Brighton that may be new to the area, what is the one thing they need to hit when they come here and see?
I really think walking downtown, up and down, hitting the Tridge, getting out and seeing all of it, because there's something for everybody. I also think the parks are great. I'm a big mountain biker, so if you like to get outside and hike and bike, and then get a beer after, or get some good food after, I mean, people don't understand how cool it is around here. They just don't. I mean, you can deer hunt a mile from downtown. That's not normal in
Yeah,
a town
that's
like
crazy.
Brighton, you know. So
See
I
a
was-
car parked on the side of the road. You're like, oh, that guy's hunting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm telling you, it's true, you know. So, I mean, you could be deer hunting and watching the football game almost, you know, at Brighton High School. So, I think this town, when I first got here 15 years ago, there was not a lot of businesses downtown. It has changed dynamically. I mean, our school system is incredible.
Yeah.
All the schools that are around here are incredible. I just think there's no better place to live around here. You can mountain bike, get a drink, get a great dinner. All that stuff is so cool around here.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. I agree with all of that.
Yeah,
What is
100%.
what is the one thing that you miss about something that may not be in Brighton anymore? That's gone. What's the one thing you'd bring back?
Ooh, that's a new question. You haven't asked that
is a
one
new
yet.
question.
I like to spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, I like that
Oh,
one.
I think
That's
Brighton's just been adding and adding, so I don't know where to go with that question. I don't know what we're missing. I really don't.
Any business that you missed that was in the downtown area before?
Not really. You know, I would like to see a cool distillery downtown.
yeah.
That would be cool.
That would
You know,
be cool.
Some small communities have added that. I also am a big proponent of bike paths, and so there's a great group of people I'm working with. I was the mountain biking coach. I started at Brighton High School a long time ago. But we're trying to connect a lot of bike paths to get people access back and forth, access from like Island Lake over to Kensington, access to downtown Brighton from JCPenney so you can travel safely with safe bike paths. You know, when kids
Yeah, getting over
That
that
would
Lee,
be cool.
that Lee Road exchange
Yeah.
there. That's
That's
I know.
dicey.
good luck.
Tall order.
Well, there's places to get around all that. And so there's some really cool people working on that. So I would love to see more people out and active, getting around town and getting to different parts of our county.
That's really cool.
That's
I love
awesome.
that.
All right. Well, I'm out of the questions today. So
That was a new one. I like
that
that.
was
last
a new one.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. And this was
Absolutely.
fun. You know, we'll definitely have you back. When we just had
Yes.
Chris Toby on not too long ago.
Great guy, too.
Awesome. And between the two of you, it sounds like there's a lot of things happening that we're going to be covering.
A lot of
you know,
exciting
on the
things.
podcast.
Yeah.
So I think that seat's going to be filled with some pretty exciting people, you know, this year, and talk about it and see where we go from there. But thanks for coming on, and really appreciate it.
Can't wait to be back, boys. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. And if you guys want more of this content, go subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit that little bell so you're notified every time I come out with a new video. And until next time, see you guys later. Peace.